Most millennials may not want nor think they need a financial advisor, but the reality is they need financial advice. So there are some new and unconventional ways of reaching and teaching 20 and 30-somethings about investing. Here to discuss is MarketWatch reporter Jillian Berman. Jillian, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Where are most 20-somethings turning for financial advice these days?
A few places, either their parents, friends, family friends, just, sort of older mentors and people like that, and the internet. The internet is a very popular resource for young people.
And what do millennials, though, tend to want to do with their money? Are their financial goals the same as their parents, or do they want to do different things?
There's a mix. So some are the same, many eventually want to buy a house or sort of own something. But a lot of their goals are a little bit more immediate. They want to travel. They want to pay down that student loan debt. So, it depends.
Right. And so are they looking for something a little different in the way they approach their need for financial advice and what appeals to them?
Yeah, I think they're looking less for advice on sort of the accumulation of wealth, so how to make your money make more money, and a little bit more just, kind of the nitty-gritty of budgeting, saving, paying down that debt so they can have a little extra money.
And what is almost a universal concern for millennials?
Student loan debt. That's that's the biggest one. Most of them have it, and it's keeping them from sort of saving for other things.
That's a big one. Now, what are some of the ways that some of the more traditional shops are trying to reach this group?
Some have set up their own websites. Northwestern Mutual has this thing called the Mint Grad, where young bloggers, sort of offer their own financial advice on that site. Others have set up even their own sort of spaces or almost like social clubs for financial advice for young people. So Society of Grown-Ups, which was created by Mass Mutual, is an example of that. And 20 and 30-somethings can go there and have dinner and a glass of wine and get advice on investments or travel tips or things like that.
Does it seem that they're responding a little bit more to sort of emotional and behavior-driven advice?
Yes, definitely. So again, with that, not being so concerned about the accumulation of wealth, they're just, they're trying to learn how to save for their lifestyle, save to achieve those small goals like travel or paying down debt.
And what about apps that are trying to reach this group? Are there a lot of them?
Yeah, there's a ton out there. One that's pretty interesting is called Stash It, and it's women focused. And basically, you set a goal, and and Stash It will sort of tell you how much you need to achieve that goal and nudge you with tips to save that money.
Oh, I could use it. I'll download Stash It. That sounds good to me. Do you think in general millennials would rather get advice from other millennials?
I think so. I mean, they trust people their age because their economic environment or the economic conditions that they grew up with are the same.
Right.
Baby boomers sort of had a different economic environment, and so, their savings goals and savings behavior are different.
Right. You know what I know. Let's get together. Let's discuss. All right, Jillian, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.